Started this 2 days ago. 2 days ago? Oh, maybe 3 days ago. Who's counting? Anyway, it's coming along nicely. I just thought it'd be interesting to do. I'll show you how I'm going to do the foreground here. We have an area in winter, Flatford in England. A well-trodden path here. You get a lot of cattle by the river as well. But it's very muddy. As you can see, there are puddles and things. But I don't think I've ever shown you how I do that on YouTube before. So I'm going to do that right now. Let's get started. So, as I normally do with this is obviously the block-in stage here. We've got an acrylic bed. We're going to be going over that as always with oil. But one of the first things I do is I darken it. It's been blocked in a middle tone. So it's obviously not the lightest. It's not the darkest. It's somewhere in the middle. So we need to add those darks now, and I'm going to do that with the Series 3, size 3/8. This is from my professional set of brushes, which you can find on my website. And we're going to mix up a darker colour and get that whole area darker there. Obviously, going to leave the puddles out. So let's get doing that right now. Okay, so that's pretty good. Right, so what I'm going to do is I've mixed up some ivory black, cerulean blue, dioxazine purple, and also some burnt umber, touch of titanium white, because I didn't want it too dark, and it's dry. There's no thinner with it, there's no liquid, there's no medium with it at all, and I've put it on the brush, but then I've taken some of it off. So I've just wiped that on the palette to get the worst of it, or the thick paints off. We want this to be almost dry, because obviously if you've got massive globs of paint on your brush, you're going to just transfer those large brush marks to the panel. So as you can see, what we're getting is just lots of tiny little dots, just gently pushing against the panel. This, by the way, is also known as a Tree and Texture Series brush, and it's very good for doing finer details on trees. And I'm just going to miss out the areas of puddle, and I'm going to go over pretty much the whole of this greyer area here and into this bit as well. Right, so now we've darkened that, I'm going to just go over some of these, or some of the puddles here, mixing a warmer colour to reflect the sky that's above. Just giving it a coat of oil, trying not to go over the darker areas too much. Okay, so now that's done, we're going to put in some of the highlights now that you can see. There are probably some more darker areas that we need to put in as well, but it's mainly going to be highlights in the actual ground. And what I'll do also is put some darker areas. In fact, I'm going to do that first, do some darker areas over the puddles. So using the Series 1 size 0, just add a few sort of slightly bigger darker areas. If you've got clumps of mud that are casting sort of shadows, and we can introduce some of those just over the puddle, just a few little bits. So I'm now just going to add some little lighter areas. In fact, it might need to be a bit lighter than that. Where you've got the sort of the wet mud there, you have just sort of little glimmers of light shining on little parts of it. And actually, one brush that would be good for that is the Series 5, because it's the Coma brush. So as you can see, it's been trimmed in such a way that it gives you lots of small points, very similar to the rigger brush that I was just using, but you should be able to do more with each brush stroke. So let's have a look, see how that pans out. So we're using a sort of a horizontal or brush mark. That's pretty good. Put in very gentle pressure on the brush here. Just trying to get lots of tiny little dots and marks and things. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the grass. So working on the grass now, just using a worn out fan brush and just using the corner of it, downward strokes, and that's giving us that grass effect. Well, there we go. Quite pleased with that. I hope you enjoyed it as well. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. For those of you that don't already know, my website is now up. www.shopmichaeljamessmith.com, where you can learn to paint like this in detail, where there are full lessons, all in real time, no time lapse whatsoever, from start to finish. If you fancy learning how to paint like me, go and have a look at that. I'll see you in... Oh, by the way, brush set. On my website, there's my professional brush set. All the brushes that I've used in this video are available on there. Please go and have a look at that. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video then. Bye for now.